Hello, everyone. This is University of Wisconsin Madison. Today, we will have. This is Weifeng. I'm a microsurgery teacher. I teach the student in here. So today, we have a student, medical student, Aidan. Aidan is a medical student from University of Rochester, and he spent 1 year in our division as a research fellow, and now is starting the formal rotation. So we practiced last year, and then before he left, we want to kind of solid his surgical microsurgery skill. So he will get some good chance in rotation to do some micro with other teachers. Yeah, Adam. Yeah, tell our friends a little bit about you.
Yeah, my name is Aidan. I'm a fourth-year medical student. Really enjoyed spending the last year at the University of Wisconsin doing craniofacial surgery research. It's really been so awesome to learn from Weifeng and Dr. Kaur and the rest of the faculty. Me and the two other research fellows went to Vietnam this spring to assist Dr. Kaur with teaching microsurgery to some of the faculty and residents there. And it's just so wonderful, the microsurgery education that comes out of the lab. So really excited to be here.
Yeah. Okay, let's get started. At the beginning, we will go over the technique a little bit and see. We may practice very cool airborne technique, or we can, yeah, see how far we can go in 2 hours. Okay. So today we will use a glove as a model first. We need a microphone. We used to have a laptop. We use a laptop, but a laptop is not.
Oh no!
Like good. We have to repair it. So yeah. So you still remember the microscope, right? Yeah. Okay. Here. You can lower your chair.
Mm-hmm.
If this chair cannot go lower anymore, you can go to use another chair. Because the height difference is really a lot. So we have two set of chair. Yeah, this chair is, yeah, you can use that chair. This chair is good for you and P. Usually we want our foot can rest on the ground, the floor, flat, and then our elbow can stay like in the right angle and comfortable.
Sure.
Like that. And then our neck, we don't need to look down. Now I see we are in good focus. I am in good focus here. What about you?
Yes.
It's good on your side?
Yep.
Okay. Very cool. So this is a model, a very simple model. We just use a piece of glove and then we draw some line here. And one line is kind of one of the vessel. Then we cut it. That's create two end of the vessel. Then we can practice sewing it up like the front wall of the vessel. Okay, I would like you to cut it. Yeah, you can cut from here. Yeah, cut around this line. Okay, you're left-handed?
Yes.
My daughter, she's left-handed also.
Oh really?
Yeah. Sahan is also left-handed.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like it's a hindrance in the OR, but just because everyone else is right-handed, but I'm always okay all the way. But I'm always glad hearing about other people that are left-handed surgeons.
Okay. Have an instrument. Holding the needle like this. Needle holder like this. Holding the needle holder like this.
Like that?
Okay, let me show you. Let me demonstrate a little. At the beginning, we passing the needle from instrument to instrument is not so easy because the needle is rigid and the instrument is all rigid, so it's hard. So at the beginning, we would like to hand dangling the needle, holding the suture, let it dangling on the, and then touch the surface so we can stabilize the needle, and then we pick it up like that. See? And then here I would like to talk about the needle, where we should hold the needle. There's not a certain like where the goal, we need to understand the goal. The goal is we want the needle tip horizontally to the surface. We don't want the needle tip pointing up. Like for example, we holding too close to the tail and then pointing out. Why it's not good is because we need to turn a lot to do the pierce, right? And we also don't want it pointing down because when it's pointing down, you hit a bad wall.
Yeah.
There's a high risk of hitting the bad wall. So most of the time, we want to holding it horizontally, the surface. So yeah, this way we can pierce the vessel easier. Yeah. Vessel, on the top. And yeah, see? And then the second thing of the needle direction is, like the textbook said, needle holder and the needle perpendicular. That's the most stable way. But the vessel is not always laying so good in front of you. Like for example, like this situation, if we holding like this way, the needle is stable. But when we in and out, if it looks like that, that's not good. And then we have to adjust it like this. But once the needle already pierced the vessel, and then we just adjust the needle, is really not so comfortable.
Yeah.
So I would pivot the needle a little bit, and then sometimes I move my hand to the middle a little bit to compensate the needle direction. So I would, goal is I want the needle parallel to the axis of the vessel. So in this way, I just move forward and then move forward. I don't have to adjust anything between the entry and exit by, right? Okay. Like when you feel your hand is not so comfortable, that's totally normal. And slow down and take a deep breath. Do you feel it far away?
Yeah, I don't see it.
Always try on firing it. You know, once I lose a needle, now in the OR, if you lost needle, they won't let you go, right? And this suture is really sometimes impossible to find. And I lose a nylon needle, and then the nurse finally we just give up. We cannot find it. Even you use a C-arm, you suit. There's no way you can get it in the C-arm. So they require me to sign a document. It's my problem if the patient find a needle inside the wound. And then later we find the needle. You know where is the needle? It's on my face mask.
Oh my gosh.
It fly and then fly to my face mask. And then we all look down and watch the table and the tower and the drape. We didn't look each other. And good. Use one hand to pull it all the way out. You need to pass the suture. Use the tip to hold in the suture. Out there.
Hello. I know. None. What's it look like? Oh, cool.
If you guys, your kids want to magnetize something, either needle or nail or something, or this one can magnetize it.
Yeah, you take that home for a little science and Weifeng on the weekends.
Yeah, you can magnetize the nail and then it's but here we want to demagnetize that.
I don't trust them with anything. Oh my gosh.
Let me try this. Let's see if this one will. Oh, this one's better. So this is demagnetizer. It's doing like that. If you want to magnetize it, you press it and then you touch the surface and then you magnetize. Demagnetize, you holding it and then you go in now.
I made an air knot.
What do we back the thing?
suture ties. Weifeng, you need to invent the microsurgical equivalent of noughts and crosses for the residents.
Huh?
I'm just looking at that grid, thinking you should be challenged to put them in position so you can get a straight line before Weifeng does. That'll be good.
Oh, yeah, no
Yeah.
problem. No problem. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, keep going.
Enjoy. No pigs tomorrow, Weifeng.
Great. They're happy of that.
What?
They are happy of the kidney and heart today.
Two's enough. That
Oh,
pig.
it's enough.
Well, we got to run the analysis to find out if it
Yeah,
worked
yeah.
or not. If we put all that trouble in tomorrow and it didn't work, it's not for any.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I share some tip to you, like the microsurgery, the technique of the firstly to do the stitching, like the pierce of the vessel. When we do the, I don't, when we do the regular stitching, like we stitch the skin, like we turn the needle holder. Then we get a regular suture. And when we do the regular stitching at this way, we return the needle holder, right? It's very comfortable. It's just turn the needle holder. We raise the edge. And on the other side, we also turn, and take it out, pulling it along the curve of the needle. But in a microsurgery, if you're holding the needle and then we turn, it's not so easy. And especially when on the other side, when we want to pierce it, we try to tilt the needle up, but the needle is so soft. When we try to tilting it up and then the tissue pulling it down, that's the moment we bend the needle. So in a microsurgery, oh yeah,
Oh, there it is. Where did that come from?
yeah. So in here, we do a little bit differently. So I don't know. I change until I teach you guys. Like at the beginning, I feel it's so hard, but later I'm feeling better. But I don't know what has been changed. I just feeling I'm getting better. So actually, we change the method of doing the stitching. Like here, I would like to say it's just a move forward method. Right here, we raise the edge, and then we press down, press the needle down, and then move. When we press down, the edge is raised, and then the needle here is kind of there will be a difference. Allow us to pierce the vessel, right? So we didn't turn like this to pierce the vessel. We raise it, and then we press down, and then move forward to do the pierce. And on this side, we didn't go to try to catch the distal, because when we go down and try to catch it, there's always a high risk of catch the back. So we do it like this way. We kept holding the needle. Now there's nothing on the needle tip. And then we pick up the front wall and then put it on the tip. And then as the gravity, we're pulling it down. And then we also press it down a little bit. And then we don't need to turn. If we want to turn, that will bend the needle. What we want to do is we press it down and then move forward. See? All we need to do is just move forward. This technique will make your stitching feels way easier. Now I take the needle out and then I use my Then I use my needle holder to secure the vessel, or sometimes release the tail if it's stuck in somewhere. So this is really good method for the beginner. Okay, now we would like to start by holding the tying nuts. There are several different methods. So one method I would like to teach at the beginning is I start to use the needle holder to catch the suture. So I can just pulling it left to right and tie a square knot, a thread knot like that, right? And then I pass the suture. And then a second knot, I just pulling it left to right. I don't need to cross the instrument. I think about if I didn't pass the suture, I tie a knot and then I keep going for the next one. In order to tie a square knot, I need to cross. The cross under the microscope is not comfortable. So in order to avoid that, we also don't want to think how to clock the instrument, which way to go. So we just pass the suture. That can avoid if we need to think and struggle. See that? Every time. So one here, I want you to remember is go back in front of you and pass the suture and then make loops right above of the short end. Come here, make loops right above the short end. So we make loop and catch. Instead of like stay here and then make loops and then go here. Sometimes you lose one arm and then catch it and then try to pull, and then break the suture. So, okay, go past the suture, switch a hand in front of you, and then make loops right on the back of the short end. Okay. So this is our training method. It's a basic method. The good thing is we train both our left hand and right hand to tie knots. I at the beginning when I was learning micro, I didn't use this method. I just see one day I see a teacher, he passed the suture and feel, oh, it's fun, and then I pick it up, and then I try this method, and slowly I feel, hey, when some of the professors said they always like use the right hand to make tie knots, like they said, like they come. Their idea is from the general practice, right? General practice, we always use the needle holder to make loops, and in the talk they said that's what we should do. Just use the needle holder to make loops, but I feel it's not true, because like we only use one hand to tie knots. Sometimes like you have to cross your instrument. So this is one of the practice, the needle tying method. So the second method is like the same method we use in general practice. Make loops. Always use a needle holder to make loops. Okay. Cross. And the second one, you don't cross. And the third one, you cross. So this is the second method. And that's another method I would like to show you is this method is also very common. It's very you will see a lot of this in the OR. Suture out. This way is no matter you start by the right hand or left hand, like the first knot, like for example, we start by using the needle holder to make root joint. And then they don't completely clog the suture. They pulling it up and down, up and down. And then the second knot, left to right, and the last knot, pulling it up and down. Same thing like if you start by needle the holder, holding the needle holder to tie the first knot. The first knot left to right, the second knot, they don't really kind of clog the suture, to pulling it up and down. So this is one of the stitching method, knot tying method, very common. You see the, they don't pass the suture. When you're getting better, you don't need to pass the suture. Pass the suture is one goal in the lab is you don't need to think, because our brain is lazy. The brain just want to have fun. So we don't have to struggle, and then we have a lot more fun in the micro. And the second thing is we train both our hand to improve the hand dexterity. And then that's 3 method. It's kind of almost the same, just there's different idea there. And then the other thing, knot tying method is our airborne method. The airborne method, usually we can use either hand when you're getting better. The first knot is the same. The second knot is starting to, we didn't let it go. We still keep holding it, and then bring it together, then make a loop. Then we go catch it. And the nail still will fly away. Then catch it, and then catch it. The idea is we control the short end instead of just letting it go randomly. So we use the needle holder to support it and then catch it. And then the same idea, use the other hand. Go here and catch it. Catch it. Yeah. And beyond this, there's another method, is the airborne second. Like the airborne one is, we still sometimes we will lose the short end. Like this method, we holding 2 suture together. So this method, we won't lose the suture. I think about if we suppose the short end will behind the vessel, like we walking in a deep space, we don't want to lose the short end. And this is a good method. Go too far. Yeah. Okay. Maybe not need to tie a certain thing. Just make 2 loops. Okay, let's practice from the beginning, and you have this idea. I mean, you know there's different method, and it's even more important is we should know why we doing that, right? Okay, now it's your turn. Yeah, fine. Oh, the magnetize is annoying. That's why sometimes the titanium instruments
Are better.
yeah, titanium, the material, they won't drop magnetize. This is the stainless steel. And then you got
Sure.
one more time, one more chance. In this, now it's kind of the stage is like you know what to do, but your hand don't listen to you
Yes.
very well. It's because catch the suture. Sure. You hold it, catch it first. Here, see clear.
Yes.
Are you in good focus both eye?
Yeah.
Okay. One arm. One edge evil. Yeah, I don't have it. Harder. Yeah, good. No problem. Yeah, test how much force you will
Yes.
break the suture. That's the goal. Keep going. When you know the limit, you will.
Okay.
Okay, follow me.
So now I want to pass this to the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, stay in front of you. Yeah, like this one you go beyond the knot. It's also convenient. Yeah. You can put the needle holder pointing down, turn the needle holder pointing down. That will be easier to catch the suture. Yeah, sometimes we're pointing up, and sometimes we're pointing down. Yeah, nice. Yeah, so here, Adam, like the suture now, you see this suture is behind your needle holder. That's the problem. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the suture should in front of you. Yeah, catch it. Needle holder. Yeah. Now it's in front of your needle holder. Okay. Good. See that? It's easier.
Yeah.
Catch the suture inside your arm. Nice. Yeah. No, this one because you passed the suture. See?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a flat out, so we just pull left to right. Yeah, go back in front of you and pass the suture. Go back in front of you, pass the suture. Yeah, getting better. Okay, keep going. I see the different the needle. Yeah, good. Yeah. Then you can realize the problem and then you change that.
Mm-hmm.
That means you can teach.
I guess so.
Mm. Yeah, keep going. Yeah. Yeah, I see you getting better now. And you can see just some small detail.
Yeah.
If you practice by yourself, this small detail will kind of will kind of bothering you for a long time until you getting better by yourself, but you don't realize what has been changed. Like myself. Mm. Oh, you tried this titanium needle holder. I see. One in the middle. Like this is front wall,
Mm-hmm.
and then
More doing middle.
yeah. Yeah, pull a little bit inside the needle holder, so it won't drum away. Yeah. Nice. Control the open of your forceps.
I shouldn't have let go of it, right? I want to stay.
Oh yeah, don't let it go.
Yeah.
Keep holding it.
can you do it so you don't have to cross the first time?
Oh, yeah, let me show you. Let's try on the outside. Maybe tie knots. I will let you try one for this. It will make more sense. Like in the regular stitching, okay, like you stitch, and then hand take the needle and then hand tie a knot and see. That's a stitch. Okay, and then hand tie knot, hand tie knot. Yeah, that's we need to cross the hand, right? That's the same thing of like we cross easily. So in order to not cross the hand, what would you do? What would you like to do? Pass the suture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah. This one use the handgun. Like this one, if we cross the suture like this way, I usually be learning in medical school we practice like this way, stitch and then tie knots like that. But when we go to the OR, you will see when the professor to catch the suture, they naturally pass the suture. If you try to observe how they doing when they hand tie knot, and then they start to tie knots. See, that's what they do. But they didn't teach us in the medical school. They see what we are doing like this when we cross hand and then we tie again and again. But when we go to the OR, they do differently. That's what I see. I'm not sure if what. Yeah. When every time I see they hold the suture, they cross the suture, and then karate chop, and then karate chop, and then handgun, then the second one up and down, then the third one karate chop again. That's what they do. They didn't teach us the same they do something. So that's one of the same idea of doing micro. So why they cross the suture? Because they don't want to cross they want to avoid cross the hand. So that's the same thing, right? It's the same thing like when we holding the suture, like we pass the suture to this hand, and then they pass the suture to the other hand. Like this one is come. See, that's the same thing. We cross the suture before we tie knots. For the first one, like that, and then we come back and then pass it again. So it's kind of we cross the suture one more time. So second knot, third knot. So you can see this method we can tie a very nice square knot. By don't have to think how to cross our hand and instrument. Just bypass the suture. Yeah, try. Holding a little bit shorter. This is kind of about 6 milliliter, and this one is about the long end. It's about like 2.5 to 3 times of the short end.
Okay.
This length is good to long enough to make surgeon snap. Okay, catch here. And then we won't need to pull all the way out of the surgical field. Okay. Yeah, just tie it down. Okay, use this for needle holder. The needle holder looks like it's a little bit. You can see the tip. There's a small, tiny open of the tip. That's because they sometimes maybe holding the big needle.
Okay.
And then it kind of making it open. Yeah, it doesn't matter now. We want the edge even, but
Right.
at this time it doesn't matter. That's not our goal. You can realize it. That's very good. Now you can see the suture is under your needle, your forceps. That making it hard. Yeah, yeah, nice. So you can see this how the suture is above and in front of the forceps. Nice. Got it. Yeah, see? Feeling better now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't think.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do.
Yeah.
Have you watched the Top Gun?
No, I haven't.
You haven't, yeah. The Top Gun that Tom Cruise told, no, Bruce, oh, I forgot. What they says, don't think, just do it. So don't kind of, this method is also kind of making you don't need to think. The thing about is even like walking or going downstairs, if you think about, okay, I need to flex my hip and then extend my knee and then I lower my other leg. You cannot walk. You may just fall down and on the stair. Okay. Okay. Okay, one in between. Yeah, that's the method we do. And one in between, and then by doing the dividing it to half. Keep your forceps close. Yeah. Until you pick up need to pick up the suture. That's easier to remove. Yeah, sometimes turn the needle holder for it again. on this side. It's too long. Yeah, that's a locking needle holder.
Okay.
So you lock and then you need to unlock it. That, that's the problem of the locking needle holder. Once you lock and then you have to unlock it.
Mm-hmm.
The good thing is like if you're holding the needle and then you can lock it and then the needle won't blow
Right. Yeah.
away.
Let go.
Yeah, won't let go. The problem is when you're doing osmosis, sometimes you have to unlock it because sometimes you don't want to lock it actually. Okay, so this one. Yeah, maybe on a real vessel we catch the adventitia, but now there's no adventitia here, so actually it's harder. It's harder in working on this material, and even the synthetic vessel. Now you feel the inconvenience of the locking instrument. Usually, 3 knot is good enough. Right, the first is certain knot and then 2 more knot.
Okay.
Microsurgery, that's most of the time would be good enough. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see. But that's useful sometimes. Like this is a slip knot. Like in this situation, like when we see our first knot is a slip knot, and then we can tie one more knot, and then use one as the center, and then tie it down.
Oh.
So
Wow.
it depends. Yeah, now you see the needle is pointing up a little bit, so making it the pierce it's a little bit hard to adjust. Yeah. Now you can move your hand a little bit to the middle, so you can compensate the needle direction, making it line up with the axis of the vessel. Good. You can take a vessel, a synthetic vessel, and try on a synthetic vessel. This is guess what's the size of this vessel?
3 millimeters.
2. Got it? Cut.
Oh, I don't think I
Yeah.
have scissors.
You can cut like this way. Yeah, you can like cut because this
Okay,
one is
yeah.
easier to get
Mhm.
into the lower profile scissor. Yeah, try to make a one clean cut. Yeah, don't waste up. Okay. Like this vessel, we open it. Most of the time, like this is we see the lumen.
Mhm.
When the vessel is small, once we can see the lumen, that means we can do micro. So we want to open a little bit instead of making it very close. This one is not good, right?
Mhm.
We want to have a little bit open, like
Mhm.
the textbook says, like 1/3 of the diameter.
Okay.
That way we can see the lumen, and then there's not much tension. Okay. You still have the suture, or we use a new suture.
Oh, kind of short though.
Oh, okay. Let me do one so you. This is 2 millimeter vessel. Look at here. What's the magnification?
0.4.
Therefore, we want to go to like 0.6. Yeah, you adjust it. Now it's a little bit blur, right?
Mhm.
Okay, good. Remember how we set up the microscope?
You zoom all the way in and then set the focus.
Yeah, do the same thing, right? Zoom in all the way on your left foot. Left foot is a zoom. Good memory. You still remember. Keep going. Yeah, now it's okay. If we see it totally blur, and then we can move the whole microscope.
Mhm.
Yeah, now it's blur a lot. Okay, now we can release the microscope, release the nut, and then move the microscope a little bit.
This.
Yeah. Okay, now we lower the microscope a little bit. Keep an eye. Okay, now it's good. Okay, right. And then we zoom out.
The 0.6.
Yeah. Okay, now the same thing. I think about this is what we do in the club. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and then on the top.
Okay.
Okay. Now the problem is like in here, we want to point it
Yeah.
towards our shoulder, and we turn. See, and use the forceps to move it out, and then the needle pointing in, so we can finish the pierce. Usually, the first stitch I would like to use 2-step. Because when we try to go to do the pierce here, we focus on here, and then we ignore the vessel on the edge on the needle, and then we tear it. So I would like to take it out, so it's 100% here is safe. We got it already. Let me find the needle. See, I push a little bit, and then these forceps using it as a stop to making it down, so we can create a space the needle to come out, right? So we want to line up the entry and exit from it. And then the same thing, tie knot, surgeon's knot. Okay, yeah, cut it. Like when your hand feeling is shaky,
Yeah.
use your other hand to support it, stabilize it. Sometimes that happens, like you in the
Like
morning you
or
can,
like sometimes I think I do that with my fingers, like with regular
yeah, like
size instruments.
yeah, especially when we cutting, we want to cut it short and cut it accurate. Use your other like forceps to support your scissor, and then you can cut very stable.
Okay.
Because like sometimes in the morning you will end up shaky, or you work with a new teacher, you feel shaky. Yeah, like this one. See, what I do is I holding it, and then the needle come in. I mean, I see that. Very good. First and second stitch, if there's still a gap, I would like to use 2 steps.
Okay.
But holding it, and see, I always try to create some small difference so I can come out easier. Like this vessel is slippy, and then I would like to use a surgeon's knot. And airborne is to go under and then cut it. Under, go above. You see, I go above the short end, and then I go above to catch it. Okay. Okay, like this size of vessel, we may, like we do in the glove, we do one in the middle and then 2 more in between. Then usually we want, it's an artery, we should like doing like that. If the weight, this size, we can just use 2.
Okay.
Because the weight has less pressure. The bra is, see that I do the same thing, right? Support, press down, move forward. This size also, come down, I pull it, press it down, and then move forward. Yeah. Yeah. So how short you should cut the needle, cut the suture? The one of the standards, it won't interfere my next stitch. Like should it's kind of like the suture length is about the space between, yeah, the space in between 2 suture. Yeah, nice. Now this is a good one. Okay, now we finish the front wall, and then we flip the vessel to do the back wall. Okay, now it's your turn. try to take the needle out. The better way is we release all the tail from the sponge first.
Okay.
Now until nothing stuck in the sponge, and then take the needle.
That's so it doesn't rip.
Yeah, if at the beginning the suture still stuck in the sponge, and then we take the needle out and then try to unwrapping it. Sometimes when it stuck very badly in the sponge, and then we break the suture.
Oh.
And the suture will break right from the needle, and then we lose everything.
Yeah.
So right hand will pull it out on the other side, because now the needle is on the right hand side. Yeah, good. There's only one arm get in the loop. Nice. So remember to catch the tip. Like when we cut the suture, one mistake lesson I learned is I saw my student cut the suture, and but he only cut one. He didn't cut two. But I thought it's both of the suture was cut, and then I moved the needle out, and then I tear the vessel. So since that, I never move until I very 100% saw two suture was cut.
We learn from experience.
Learn from mistake. So I want you to learn from my mistake.
Okay.
It was so impressive because their mistakes. You tear the vessel and you have to redo it. And then making the vessel is even shorter.
Did I come in too far out?
It's good. The size is good.
Okay.
But this one, if this one is a little bit towards this side, that will be more even. But it's fine. Yeah, it's. I believe you will do it better. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, Adam, what happened right before why the needle come out? Because see, if we holding the needle holder like this way, before we can close, one arm already hit it away.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to turn the needle hold a little bit to match the curve. So we catch instead of hitting away. One, and we do it from the beginning. Okay, I would like you to put a clamp on. Right, you can see here there's a groove. So there's a special forceps to manipulate the clamp. I want it to go wider, but not completely go to the end, because sometimes we want to still keep a little bit freedom so we can move a little bit. We want to line up the on both sides. So if think about if we didn't line up on both sides, we cut it and then it will cause a mismatch. So usually at the beginning we will line the clamp away from you, because the first and second stitch we want a better space. Then this part is kind of blocking. Okay, now you cut the switch or cut the lesson. Use forceps to open the lumen. Yeah, the first and second stitch is the most difficult one. Yeah, so first one pointing towards your shoulder, holding here. Oh, this side, here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So hold here, also go this side. Yeah, good. First, and then the second. At the beginning, our hand is not feeling comfortable. It's because it's the same like we learn other things because the muscle they never work together to do this at this moment. Like I speak English at the beginning, my mouth and hands never work together to make that sounds. Yeah, nice. Okay, front wall. Front wall is the same like we stitch the glove.
Okay.
Where's your next stop? Which program?
I'm going to University of Washington.
Washington, the Seattle?
Yes,
Oh,
I'm excited. Something different.
nice.
Don't want to leave here. I've had so much fun.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, to move forward.
Yeah, something new. Oh,
Yeah, you got cheating. Both Susie and Dr. Cho, they from UW,
yes,
Seattle.
I know. I'm excited to. I've just heard so much about it from them. I'm excited to be able to
Mm.
experience it for myself.
Yeah. Slow down, take a deep breath. Sometimes our hand will listen to us. Yes. Open of the instrument. Sometimes open too big and then just untie the knot.
I think my tails end up being longer than I want them to be.
Oh yeah, this one is a little bit long.
Yeah, I
Usually
I feel like it gets longer than I expect it to after I pull it.
Oh. Yeah, the when you can even both hands force when you're pulling it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can keep it short. Oh, that's enough there. good practice. So this is a 6-stitch or 8-stitch style. 2 and then 3 and then another side 3. That's 8-stitch. The one we practiced just now is the 6-stitch.
Okay.
More time, more stitch. How it's hard, really. And this space is a little hard for you.
Yeah.
It's like just like doing a 6-stitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll just do 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try to use the needle holder because the forceps is too small the tip. It's not designed to catch the needle.
Thank you.
to take it out. Remember, release the tail first. Suture is long to pull, so this is a 15 centimeter long suture.
Okay.
It's not very friendly to a beginner.
Beginner.
Like 10 to 13, that's the ethical suture is more convenient. Somebody put the suture and then use all the suture. Yeah, nice. Good. Yeah. Now it's the suture is on your right hand side. So use your right hand to pull it out. That will be more convenient.
Okay.
Because like we want the suture, this segment going straight. Like if you pull it like this way, sometimes it get caught in somewhere and then it tear the vessel.
Okay.
So we want to go this way, make
Okay.
it straight. If we want to pulling just by this hand, like if we pulling like this way, we would like to put something here. Pull it like as a
I
pulley
see.
to adjust instead of pulling like this way.
Yeah.
Just some small detail can prevent we have to redo it. Oh, done! Yeah, amazing. This is your first real anesthesis. Yeah, pretty good. Struggle, right? At the beginning, this is your first one. Yeah, usually we will feel our hand, the muscle is sore. Yeah, feels good. Nice.
What are these synthetic vessels made out of?
Says it's silicone,
Okay.
but it can dry out.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like that's not silicone, like silicone
Yeah,
will dry
yeah.
out. So maybe some special, they didn't list that material on the package.
Okay.
So that's why we want to make something different. We don't have to keep it on water,
In the water.
then we don't have to keep it moist. Yeah.
So you're trying to develop something?
Yeah. You know, we found a product is for the
Bucatini
makeup
noodles.
no, that one is the makeup the skin, the wound, or like for the Halloween, the chicken skin. that skin, that texture is really soft.
Okay.
And feel like the tissue, real tissue. But it's hard to make a even movement and wall like a vessel.
Mm-hmm.
That requires some industry things.
Yeah.
The material is good. We like the material. It's even softer than this one.
Okay.
Yeah, if the like we can like the skin, we can pinch the skin, right? By a very fine forceps.
Mm-hmm.
That's the very close to our skin.
Okay. Emily mentioned that you guys are working on doing a freeze-dried chicken thigh.
Huh?
Emily said you guys want to do a freeze-dried chicken thigh.
Freeze-dried chicken thigh?
Or Dr. Poor wants to.
What's that?
Like, you know, have you ever seen like freeze-dried strawberries where it's like completely dried out and it's almost like styrofoam texture? It's like a special machine.
That,
And Dr. Poor.
I think we can just try the vessel. It's good. Like we use a chicken thigh. The chicken thigh, the good thing is we can dissect it out, practice dissection. But actually, like when we go out, it's hard. I mean, it's not so convenient.
Yeah.
So I think we just cut the vessel out and then put it into a small bottle. Now the chicken thigh, we take it out and put it in the hot water. It will take 30 minutes. If we just put it into one 10 cc or 5 cc water, put the femoral artery there. Just smell like the particle.
Oh, really?
This is a good selfie spot.
It is. Perfect.
Oh, let's talk to the. Okay, now it's 2 hours. So fast. Let's talk about our friends. Hello, everyone. Now, yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, we have a really good time. Aidan, we go over the technique, and then I share some tips to Aidan. Aidan pick up the tips very quickly, and then now he can tie knots free, very fluently, and it's even more amazing. We practice in a glove. On the glove, we can practice like the vessel wall, the front wall. And now I see Aidan is good enough to try a real anastomosis. And then we move on for use a synthetic vessel to try end to end. And just Aidan finished his first real end to end anastomosis from the beginning to the end. Use a 6-stitch method. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you, Weifeng.
Yeah, so Aidan, like from the beginning and to the end, what do you think? What now you feel is very helpful? If I know this one, it will be very helpful for me.
I think one of the things that you said, if I'm struggling with something, to just take a pause and reset and take a breath. I think that was really helpful.
Yeah.
Just to reset. Yeah, I don't know. I like that one, and I'm excited to try the airborne technique next time. But I like the crossing, and I guess you could use that with regular suturing in the operating room too.
Yeah, so. That's true. That's what I see from the.
But you're right. They don't teach you that way when you learn how to do it. So.
Yeah, they may kind of thought it's you guys pick up this one first. I will teach you later.
Yes.
That's what we see. So microsurgery and general surgery is some part of that. We can translate the technique to here. And microsurgery, slowly microsurgery have some unique thing, and it's doing small, a little bit different from what we practice in the general surgery. So that small things kind of game changer, can make you feel much better and getting better much quicker. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we have a good time. So if you like microsurgery and if you feel helpful, please subscribe and share our channel. If you we also go overseas to teach micro course. This year we go to Vietnam. Aidan also go to there to help set up a course. So if your country or your hospital want to set up a micro course, leave a comment and reach out to us. We may show up in your hospital next time. Okay, bye.
Bye.